our male right here with the white dust, which is usually that indicator of mite poop. So just to make sure, what we're gonna do is take these animals out and we're gonna give them that mite solution. She's looking oh so gorgeous. Look at that beautiful eastern diamondback rattlesnake. What a gorgeous individual. Look at that rattle, beautiful, well-formed rattle. Look how milky his eyes are right now. Come on, Kevin. It's a delicious treat with your name on it. There you go. Yes. Look at the big boy, Kevin. Watching his head at all times because these guys have heat-seeking pits, which makes them deadly accurate with their strike, so you do not want to be on the bad end of an eastern diamondback. Their venom actually has the capability of killing a full-grown man because of how lethal that venom is. Ah, what a beautiful day to fly my owl. Bagoy! Up, up! Ah, ooh, it seems like he has a note. Hello, Bagoy. Oh, what do you have here for me? Ooh, let me get this. Oh, huh. What do we got here? Oh, I'm so excited. Your snakes have mites? We might have a problem. What is going on, my beautiful, lovely people? Hey! All right, beautiful people, we're gonna be treating for mites today. It might be a little situation. Ah! Ruth! Oh, I'm sorry, not again. I might have too many jokes in store. Ow! All right. We might just have to get back to the... Ow! All right, anyways, so beautiful people, we might have a problem. Okay, no more mite jokes. Guys, we have a mite problem. Very simple. Eastern diamondback rattlesnakes have a little bit of white dust on their heads. Now, white dust is usually an indicator that the mites are going to the bathroom on top of the scales. Why do they do this? It's simply because when they're feeding on the skin of the snake, sucking that blood, because these guys are little blood suckers, they actually don't want to go to the bathroom where they're feeding, so they crawl out of their little crevasse underneath the scales. They get on top and they take a little spicy meatball because they don't poop where they like to eat. Believe it or not, for a blood-sucking arachnid, they actually have manners and class, unlike most Floridians. So basically, we're gonna be treating for mites. I got my solution right here. There's plenty of ways to do it. We'll go over that in a second, but let's just get inside the snake house. Who put my bike on the floor like this? It's gonna break. It smells like gas. All right, beautiful people, let's go inside and see what's going on with these eastern diamondback rattlesnakes. Snake jazz. Come on. Okie dokie artichoke. As you can see, it's a little bit of a mess. Now that we got AC in here, I've been installing all the heat lamps for all my African species and also my species from Australia that need a little more heat than the rainforest animals. So as you can see, everyone's looking good. The green mambas are looking fat. They actually just ate yesterday along with all the other animals. They are looking beautiful. So we got our eastern dimebacks right here. You can see that we got our male right here with the white dust, which is usually that indicator of mite poop. So just to make sure, what we're gonna do is take these animals out and we're gonna give them that mite solution. So what I got for solution is Nyx. Nyx is what you use for lice, but it works for these guys too because they're both little blood suckers, little arachnids. So this Nyx Cream, it's like a real gooey orange cream that you get out of Walgreens or CVS. Just like that. And you get these little solutions that are in a bottle about this big. And what you do is you just get a gallon jug like this. You pour out just a little bit of water so you have shaking room. You dump the whole bottle in there and then you shake it as much as you can until all that goo just separates and breaks down into tiny little particles. Just like this. Have a look. It has to look like this. And if it doesn't look like this, you got a problem. It's got to look like a light, like orange Fanta. Don't drink it though. It's not good for you and it's not good for your snake to drink. Big thing about this, when you're treating for mites with Nyx, you want to make sure that your snakes are hydrated before actually treating them. You don't want them to drink this stuff. So what you're gonna do is when you take your snakes out, you soak them in water, let them get hydrated, and then after they're done soaking for like an hour or so, you can take them out, dry them off, and then you spray them with the Nyx, which I'll show you how to do in a second. Real simple. You just want to make sure it doesn't start pooling at the bottom of the container, and then it leads to them drinking it, which is not good for them. It's great to kill off that mite infestation, but it is not good for them to ingest. Now, of course, there are many different ways to treat for mites. Some people use 7 Dust. Some people even use things like, what's that soap called? Dawn dish soap. Some people like to use that in a tub of water and let them sit in it. that could lead to the animal drinking a bunch of that Dawn soap, so it might not be the best way to do it. Anyway, so what we're gonna do is get these guys out, get them into a good container. I think we're gonna use not the snake holding receptacle because there's not enough ventilation. Big thing is you wanna make sure there's a lot of ventilation so they're not breathing in all those vapors from the Nyx spray. So let me pick out one of my tubs over here that have a bunch of holes, and that would be good to go. Oh, you're still here. Well, I'm looking at my tubs now and I'm trying to pick out a good one. Ooh, this has a lot of holes. But then here we have a problem. These tub tops warp, so now they're not snake proof and it's too much of a hazard to use. I'm not using that. I'd be a knucklehead to use that. Let me see, let me use my eyes to sort this situation.
Let me look around.
I need a tub with more holes. We have an issue. All right, everyone calm down. We got this. I got what I need. Stop commenting. Stop commenting. I wasn't prepared for the video. I'm always prepared. That hurt my knuckle. I think I actually severed it slightly in that crocodile bite. Anyway, so let's get these guys out and start soaking them after I get a tub. All right, my beautiful, lovely, wonderful, fantastic individuals out there and possibly animals taking the iPhone of owners and watching my videos. I don't know what's going on. But, well, we got all of our stuff organized. I got my Nyx ready to go. I got a can full of water so we can let these guys soak before actually treating them with the mites. Because remember, we don't want them to drink that mite solution, that Nyx, because it's not good for them to ingest. Really, any of this kind of stuff that you're using to kill mites is not good for snakes to ingest. Because obviously we're trying to kill off something, so it's got to be a little toxic. But as long as we don't... Oh, look at that! Oh, stretch! Oh, look at it! Oh! Did you see that? Oh! Those fangs were just poised, stretching those jaws. They're so beautiful. Eastern Diamondback rattlesnakes, the largest species of rattlesnake on the planet, getting upwards to 8+ feet long. That's huge. That's longer than I am tall, and that's like that thick. That's monstrous. And they're an impressive species. These Eastern Diamondback rattlesnakes are actually just about like 3 years old right now, so they're just wee little babies. So I want to make sure my little babies are taken care of. What we're gonna do is just first put them into the can of soak, let them get hydrated. Go nice and slow. Come here. There we go. Look at that beautiful rattlesnake. Such a gorgeous animal. Let me see if I can just go nice and slow and get that tail. There we go. Look, good size. We're gonna put him right into the can, let him soak. And they're just gonna be in here for about like 30 minutes to an hour. Just let them soak as much as possible. Root's gonna watch my back while I pull out this other one. Make sure the other Diamondback doesn't come out. There we go. Look at you, beautiful snake. Ah, this is my big female. She's looking oh so gorgeous. Look at that beautiful Eastern Diamondback rattlesnake. What a gorgeous individual. Look at that rattle. Beautiful, well-formed rattle, which is not full of little beads to make rattling sound. It's actually just a cascade of shedded skin smacking on each other and make that rattling sound. So it's not like a maraca with beads inside. We're gonna let them soak in here. Listen to the rattles, try to rattle in the water. It's such a cool sound, them vibrating in there. Such a beautiful species, the Eastern Diamondback rattlesnake. We have the largest rattlesnake on the planet in Florida, and then we have one of the smallest species of rattler on the planet, which technically isn't a true rattlesnake, but we do have the pygmy rattlesnake, which is found in Florida as well. So they have overlapping habitat, the biggest and the smallest rattlers around. Look how beautiful they are. Such a gorgeous individual. And a good way to tell that these guys are Eastern Diamondbacks versus the Western Diamondbacks, besides where you find them, West Coast versus East Coast, these guys don't have a black and white banded tail like a raccoon tail. These guys are more so of like a beige coloration that fades. Slight banding, but not as white and predominant as a Western Diamondback rattlesnake. All right, we're gonna make sure these guys soak for at least half an hour to an hour. Let them sit in there. We got our container ready that we're struggling to find before. A nice container with plenty of ventilation on the top and on the sides. So when they're sitting in that Nyx solution, they're not breathing in all those toxins, all those vapors and whatnot. We've got our Nyx. Don't drink it. What I like to do every time that I make my Nyx solution is label it Nyx. Put X's on it. So everyone in the snake room, if you have coworkers, they all understand, do not use this to fill up water bowls or to spray reptiles to hydrate them. So we're just gonna shake it up a little more, a little more, a little more. We just shake it up until all that orange is gone and it's nice and clear. And it's just, like I said, a light Fanta, a light orange Fanta. Nope, can't drink it. All right, we're gonna put that down. And just like a cooking show, we have the hors d'oeuvre before it's done, and we would pour it into a spraying container, but we already have it ready over here. Yes, look, we have the finished product right here. Yes, you shake it up a little more. Does it work? Woo! Look at that, beautiful. Let me. Oh, you got a mite on your foot. You got a mite. Oh, you got a mite on your foot right there. So we're good to go. This is what we're gonna use to spray the Eastern Diamondback rattlesnakes. We'll put them both in here. Nice tight little area. They can sit there, soak in it. And they'll be in there for about 8 hours to a whole day. Usually I just leave them in there for a whole day. And then once they're done for a whole day, the next day, you take them out, you rinse them really good, then you soak them again, give them a break for a day, and then repeat the process over a period of like 5 days, 3 times you're gonna treat these snakes. Why do we do this? Because these snakes have mites which lay eggs and they breed and they fester on the snake. They're getting their nutrients from the blood of the snake, which is encouraging them to reproduce. They have their energy now. So what's gonna happen is they're gonna lay eggs underneath the scales of the snake. And then a couple days later, those babies hatch. Those babies won't die in the egg form if they're getting hit with the spray. So what you have to wait for is for those eggs to hatch days later. You got the tiny little babies, you treat them again, and then a third time, and that's how you kill off the whole entire cycle. It's a mouthful, but it's a good mouthful, a little education for y'all. So, like I said, if you need to treat a little mite situation, because I'm sure there's lots of people out there that have large ball python collections or just large reptile collections in general, and they want to deal with these mites without getting too crazy. They don't want to use something too toxic. They don't want to use something not too lethal, which doesn't kill enough mites. So Nyx is just in between. Because I'm telling you, some of the stuff is bad. Some of the stuff that you would use for killing mites is so toxic for small snakes that you'd probably end up killing them or giving them neurological problems. I know there's little like pest strips and whatnot that you can keep in a snake room. I've worked at different facilities where that works out great, but in some situations it can cause neurological damage for your snake, and you'll start noticing like stargazing and all kinds of crazy stuff. So always do your research and figure out what's best for your specific reptile. All right, we're gonna let these guys soak. And in the meantime, let's go look at my lace monitors. They're sick. What can I say? All right, you know what we're actually gonna do while we're waiting? I have little hors d'oeuvres waiting for my king cobras. If you guys remember from one of the last feeding episodes, I put Panicure treatment, what's another word for it? Safeguard. Safeguards used to kill parasites and whatnot, a gut load of parasites, anything like that, which is something that you want to implicate on snakes that are eating other snakes, because sometimes you got frozen parasites in there. The idea is to freeze off the snake for about 2 months or so all the parasites die before feeding it to a king cobra. But just to be safe, you never know when introducing cypress mulch or anything else, you might introduce a parasite. So it's definitely good we treat these guys at least like twice a year or 3 times a year, depending on how much of a feed load we got going on. So I do have 2 portions of cut up python with the treatment in each piece of python. So we're gonna feed both of the kings. Kevin, it's gonna be a second treatment, which is what we're keeping track of. We're gonna do 3 lines of it. And then Justina's getting her first treatment today. So let's go give her a little bit of appetizer. Okie dokie, it's me, the chef. And today I have a little hors d'oeuvre that I would call a python pizza pie. You see this? It's delicious. 2 chopped up parts of python, each having a portion of that safeguard, which is a worm killer. And like I said, you want to do this at least like twice a year when you own something like a king cobra that eats other snakes, just to make sure it's not building up a parasite load. Justina is looking really good. She's ready to eat, so I'll give her her first piece. Let's give her this nice, thick, chunky part right here. Because Kevin already had a big meal recently. Let's see if she comes out for this. You want some food? Ooh, 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 ooh. Oh, getting blood everywhere. Come here, Justina. Oh, look, it's getting away. Oh, I'm escaping. Here I go. I'm about to jump out. Wait, do you know? Oh, that's kind of close to my hand. Go on. We'll leave it right there. And I'm going to close this for safety reasons. Hashtag OSHA. I don't know if they have that in other countries. Oh, Justina. She wouldn't get approved by OSHA. All right, let me, oh, hey, Kevin. Kevin's going through shed. Not totally sure if he's gonna wanna eat this because of how milky his eyes are right now. He's probably not even gonna really suss it out unless he flicks his tongue out a little bit and gets some scent particles in the air. Kevin, you want it? Oh, he's interested. Look at that. Come on, taste it. It's delicious. What do you think? Look how milky his eyes are right now. Come on, Kevin. It's a delicious treat with your name on it. There you go. Yes. Look at the big boy Kevin. Ooh, big boy Kevin having a nibble. Ooh, I love you, Kevin. Let me get some bark off this side, because it's a little wet. Ooh, look at him. Nom, 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 nom. He's so cool. I love my king cobras. I cannot wait for these guys to have big, beautiful walk-in king cobra enclosures. They're going to love it. I'm going to close this glass for safety reasons, and I'm going to put a lock on this to make sure it's nice and secure. Good to go. Justina's spazzing out. I'm going to let Ruth get closer so she can get footage of Kevin eating. Now what we're going to do is clean out this enclosure completely while these kings eat and these eastern diamondbacks soak. Let's get this glass out, and we're going to make sure it's nice and cleaned up. And also, we want to hit it with a lot of Nyx. We want to hit it with a lot of Nyx. Make sure anything on the glass itself gets killed as well. It doesn't spread anywhere. I've already done this before we started filming, but I'll do it again. Making a nice line of Nyx on the outside of the cage. And we're also going to keep an eye on this Indian cobra to make sure the mites aren't traveling upwards to him. If it does get to him, then it's fine. We'll just have to treat this whole entire area. No biggie. The good thing is with mites, it's not detrimental. It's not going to kill you off your whole entire snake collection unless you don't stay on top of it. When there's just a few mites and then you start hitting it with the treatment and getting rid of them, that's fine. It's only when you neglect your snakes and you're not paying attention to them and then they're festering with mites all over that you can kill your snake by not staying on top of your collection. So that's why, oh, thank you, Ruth. It's always about quality and not quantity. I have a lot of snakes. I could own way more than this, but I choose not to because then it'd be very difficult to make sure everyone's well taken care of when I'm the only guy who's taking care of all these venomous snakes. Why am I the only guy? Well, with the deadliest snakes on the planet, it's a big liability to have other people messing with your stuff. I think I'll just spray this really good and then let it soak and let all the mites die, and then probably tomorrow I'll take out all this mulch and whatnot. There we go. Oh, somebody looks a little angry. I think she wanted a little more python than that, but just so we give her all the treatments without making her fat, we're making them smaller portions, including for Kevin, because Kevin had a nice big python. As you can see, he's thick, so thick that he's going through shed right now because he's growing so much. So we're gonna let them be. Everything's soaking in the Nyx, except for, oh, Ruth, you're stepping on the glass. Please don't do that. So what we're gonna do now is take out these eastern diamondback rattlesnakes, make sure they get all that water off of them so they're not dripping into this tub. So we'll just put them on the floor. And what we're gonna do is once they're over here, we're gonna spray them real good, secure them in this tub, and that's about it. That's all she wrote for this episode, because this is like a 5-day process. So like I said, Nyx, dry, hydrate, let them chill. Nyx, dry, hydrate, let them chill, and then one more time, and that's to kill off the whole cycle of mites. Let's put this right here, some paper towel to help them dry off a little bit easier. As you can see, I'm doing a zigzag formation, which is what they tell you to do when you're running away from a crocodile, but little did they tell you a crocodile came up with that idea. Clever girl. All right, let me see how they're doing. They look good. Looking beautiful, actually. Look, oh, love raising animals from little babies. They look so good. It's so awesome to see them grow up. We're gonna go one at a time. I believe this is the female. Look at her. That is so cool to see these guys from little worms to get this big. All right, we're gonna put her right here. Let her dry off just a little bit on that paper towel. There we go. Come here. Nice and easy. There we go. I'm gonna take her, put her inside the tub, let her relax for a second, and get ready to get this other diamondback in there. This is the beautiful male with those dark charcoal black saddles, those diamonds on the back. Looking good. Ooh, gotta be careful. Don't want to grab the wrong end. A sharp end. All right, Put that snake right over here. Looking good. Perfect. All right. Let this guy dry a little bit more. I'm watching his head at all times because these guys have heat-seeking pits, which makes them deadly accurate with their strike. So you do not want to be on the bad end of an eastern diamondback. Their venom actually has the capability of killing a full-grown man because of how lethal that venom is. And it's like acid that would rot you away. So we want to make sure that the snake is nice and dry before getting that Nyx treatment. There we go. Now, smoothly, I'm watching this other one's head, smoothly, I'm gonna get him in with the sibling. Nice and easy, nice and easy. There we go. All right, I'm gonna let them settle in there for a second, so when I open it back up to spray them, they're not shooting out. In the meantime, just gonna double check the paper towel and see what we got going on. See little black dots, but I think that's just some dirt from the floor. I don't see any mites. But even if he had only a few mites that were causing all that white dust, that poop on the top, we still want to get rid of it. The last thing we need is for all these mites to spread and then have to do a deep clean and treatment for every single one of these snakes. And I'll tell you what, I don't want to treat Allison the black mamba for mites. That's not going to be fun. That's as simple as it gets. Not fun. The more you have to treat, the more dangerous it gets. Look at all these snakes. I mean, black mambas, green mambas, pygmy rattlesnake. It's dangerous. You gotta take this stuff seriously. You wanna nip it in the bud before it becomes too big of a problem. Look at this. How cool is that? A box of rattlesnakes. All right, guys, let's get ready to spray these guys down. Real slow and real easy. I'm watching where both their heads are at right now. I got my boots on too, just in case I have to keep them from jumping out. There we go. Real easy. Oh, where are you going? So I'm not using too much, just enough to make sure these guys have all those mites killed off and they don't have any future issues. Let's get your tail right in there, nice and easy. Perfecto, very easy. All right, so we're good to go. Everything's looking nice. As you can see, everything's getting better and better in the serpentarium. We got lights going on. As time goes on, it's gonna look more and more beautiful. It's gonna look more and more like a real deal serpentarium. I'm super excited for this, guys. I hope you are too. And remember, if you ever have reptile dysfunction, call your vet and he'll help you treat it.
Action.
All right, beautiful people, I'll see you on the next one. Stay beautiful, stay safe, and most of all, don't forget to check us out on chandlerswildlife.com, where you can get exclusive merchandise. You can get t-shirts, stickers, jackets. If you guys buy any of this stuff, it helps with the big build out of this beautiful serpentarium, and of course, this beautiful conservatory for endangered reptiles. We got an 8-foot perimeter fence we gotta do for a whole 11 acres, and we gotta do drywall in here, walk-in king cover enclosures. We got to do so much. So if you guys want to help out, we'd really appreciate it if you guys got some shirts, stickers, whatever you like. If you can't buy any of that stuff, if you can't contribute, don't worry about it. You guys watching our videos is good enough for us, and it's plenty of support. Thank you guys so much for joining me on my wild life. Thank you for joining me on this adventure. Remember my first video unboxing my first venomous room? It was so tiny. It was such a tiny room. Everyone said, That's a closet. Why do you have a king cobra in a closet? That's dangerous. And I said, no. I'm used to this kind of stuff. It's fun. Come on, subscribe, see some more. And look at us now. I'm still alive. We have a bigger snake room. It all worked out. Thank you guys so much for joining me on my wildlife. I love you. And I love the person next to you that doesn't really watch my videos as consistently. Convince that person to subscribe. I'll see you on the next one. I love you. Come give me a kiss. Come give me a kiss. Come here. Oh, there's 3 cameras. I guess I'll kiss all 3 of them. I don't know how that looks, but I'll see you on the next one.
Action.